So hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss the new chapter, that is flow through pipes. Okay, so let's start. So in this particular chapter we are focusing on the major losses, the minor losses, the derivation of the Chazy's equation and the derivation of the Darcy-Weisbach equation, and I will show you the hydraulic gradient line and total energy line. Okay, so as we are mainly focusing on losses in this particular chapter, that means the flow through pipes. So if we consider the pipe is something like this, a small portion of a pipe, okay, and if the direction of the flow of the fluid is in this particular side, suppose this is the fluid which is flowing through inside the pipe. Now if I consider two sections, yes, you are right, I am going to apply the Bernoulli's equation. So if I take two sections 1 and 2 and if I assume the pressure at this section 1 is P1 and the velocity is V1, and at section 2 the pressure is P2 and the velocity is V2, and also the datum head, consider this is Z1 and here it is Z2. Okay, so if we apply the Bernoulli's equation, what we can write that P1 by rho g plus V1 square by 2g plus Z1 equals to P2 by rho g plus V2 square by 2g plus Z2, right? So this is only applicable when the fluid is ideal, right? But yeah, if it is real, then what will be the changes in this particular equation? Then there will be some losses, and that losses can be determined by determination of the value of this HF. Okay, and actually using these two equations, that means the Chazy's equation and Darcy-Weisbach equation, we can determine the value of this HF. Okay, and we can determine the value of HF for both the laminar flow as well as the turbulent flow. I hope all of you know how to differentiate between the laminar flow and turbulent flow. You know the term Reynolds number, RE. If the Reynolds number is greater than 2000, then it is turbulent flow, right? And what is Reynolds number? It is nothing but the ratio of the inertia force by the viscous force, right? And also you can determine it by rho Vd by mu, right? So you just determine the value, and if it is greater than 2000, then it is turbulent or it is laminar. Okay, so we are going to discuss about the losses. Right, now there are two types of losses that I have already told. First one is the major loss and second one is the minor loss. Now till now we have discussed about the laminar flow and turbulent flow, right? So that is very much important, laminar and turbulent flow. Now how to differentiate this? By using the Reynolds number, we can verify that whether it is a laminar or turbulent. Now I am saying that what are the reasons behind the major losses in flowing fluid through a pipe. Mainly the major losses is mainly due to the friction. Okay, is mainly due to the friction, and the value of this losses, that means the frictional loss, is very much higher compared to the minor losses. And what are the reason for the minor losses? Look, mainly if the velocity if the velocity of a flowing fluid, if it is changed, okay, if the velocity change, then only we are getting the minor losses in a flowing fluid inside a pipe. Look, we already know the continuity equation. Continuity equation. What is the continuity equation? Q equals to A1 V1 equals to A2 V2. So if the velocity changed, that means in which condition the velocity can be changed by using this equation? It can be only changed when the A1 is not equals to A2. Look, if the A1 is not equals to A2, so definitely the V1 and V2 will be also vary, right? So suppose if the pipe is something like this, so the area here in this particular section, suppose this is A1 and suppose this is A2 and the fluid is flowing like this. Now if the A1 is equals to A2, then definitely V1 is also equals to V2. But in such cases, suppose we have some sudden enlargement in this particular portion, suppose the pipe is something like this, then there are sudden enlargement something like this. Okay, so what happened? So the fluid is flowing like this. Now in this particular section, suppose this is A1 and in this particular section and in this particular section, suppose this is A2. So definitely A1 is less than A2, right? So definitely the velocity over here, if it is V1 and if it is V2, so definitely the V1 is greater than V2. So in these cases the velocity changed, right? So if the velocity change, then there are some minor losses, and in this particular portion, that means in case of sudden enlargement, the water will be something goes like this, and in this particular section there are formation of eddies. Okay, and due to that formation there are some losses in the fluid, and that particular losses is termed as minor losses. Okay, so yeah, this particular case is for sudden enlargement. So this type of various cases are there where the losses is happening in the flowing fluid, but not due to the friction, due to some other cases, like in here it is for the eddy formation. Okay, so if I write all the points that in which cases the minor losses are there. The first point is due to sudden enlargement. Due to sudden enlargement, so in this case this is sudden enlargement, so definitely area is changed, cross section area, and also the velocity changed, and you know the reason of the minor losses is mainly on velocity change, right? And here it is due to friction in major losses. In second case, due to sudden contraction, due to sudden contraction. So sudden contraction means something like this. It is just opposite of sudden enlargement. So here if we consider this is 1 and here the A1 and here it is section 2, here consider it is A2. So in such case A1 is greater than A2. So definitely the V1, if the velocity at the section 1 is V1 and the velocity section 2 is V2, then the velocity V1 is less than V2, because here the area is small, so velocity is higher. Okay, so this is for the case of sudden contraction. Now 3, due to pipe bending, due to pipe bending. So if we bend the pipe something like this, okay, we change the shape of the pipe, or if you bend the pipe, then also some minor losses are there. Now 4, due to pipe fitting. So there are various types of fittings in the market available. So now coming to the major losses. So major losses, the main reason of the major losses is the friction, right? So here we will derive two equation. First one is the Chase's equation to determine the value of this major loss, and secondly we will also derive the equation that is the Darcy-Weisbach equation. Okay, so by using the following two equation we can determine the value of the major losses, and both of those two equation can be applied to the laminar flow as well as the turbulent flow. Okay, so let's determine the Chase's equation. So Chase's equation. Okay, so as you already know, the Chase's equation is applicable for both laminar and turbulent flow, right? So let's draw a pipe where the fluid is flowing. So consider this is the pipe and here the fluid is flowing. Okay, and we take two sections because we are going to apply the Bernoulli's equation. So consider this is section 1-1. So consider this is section 1-1 and this is section 2-2. Okay, so before applying the Bernoulli's principle, definitely the most important thing here we need to see the assumption. Okay, because if you can't consider the assumptions, we can't apply the Bernoulli's equation. So what are the assumptions? The first assumption is the frictional resistant force. So if we consider the F is the frictional resistance force, okay, the F is proportional to the v to the power n, where v is the mean velocity. Okay, and n, the value of n which is ranges from 1.5 to 2. Okay, generally we consider the value equals to 2. Okay, so A proportional to the v square, we will come later on. Now the second assumption, is this F value, that means the frictional resistance force, this one is depends on the density of the fluid. So it depends on the, so if we consider rho is the density, so it depends on the density of the fluid. So if the density changed, definitely the frictional resistance force will be also changed. Now the third assumption is it depends on the nature of the surface. That means definitely inside the pipe, the surface, if the surface is smooth or maybe rough, so depending on that condition the frictional resistance force will be vary. So you can write that nature of surface. Now assumption number 4 is that it is independent of pressure. That means this frictional resistance force is independent of pressure. Okay, so this is very important point, because in the many competitive examination this type of question may come, and we generally think that this is actually related to the flowing through pipes, so that is why it may dependent on pressure, but no, it is not dependent on pressure, it is independent of pressure. Okay, so this is a very important point. Now the last one, the fifth assumption, it says that the frictional resistance force, that means the F, it depends on the area of fluid and solid wall contact. it depends on that means this F value is depends on the area of fluid and the solid wall contact, okay. So now what we will do, we will apply the Bernoulli's principle in these two sections, that means 1 and 2, and then we will determine the value of the loss, okay. So let's start. Now if we apply the Bernoulli's equation in section 1.1 and section 2.2, okay. So consider the pressure at section 1.1 is P1, the velocity is V1, and at section 2.2 the pressure is P2 and the velocity is V2, okay. And the datum head here is Z1, that means in section 1.1, and at section 2.2 it is Z2. That means if we consider this is Z1 and this is Z2, okay. So at this section 1.1 we have the value of pressure, that is P1, velocity V1, and the datum head is Z1, and at section 2.2 we have the value of pressure, that is P2, the velocity V2, and the datum head is Z2. Now we are applying the Bernoulli's principle from section 1.1 and section 2.2. What we can write is P1 by rho g plus V1 square by 2g plus Z1 equals to P2 by rho g plus V2 square by 2g plus Z2 plus HF. So why this HF? As the fluid that we are considering over here, that is the real one, okay. But if we apply the same thing in ideal case, then there will be no loss, okay. So in that case the pressure head plus velocity head plus datum head equals to constant, okay. But as we are considering here it is the real fluid, so that is why there are some losses, and the value of that loss is HF, and that we are going to determine by using the Chase's equation. Now as per the continuity equation, what we know, that Q equals to A1 V1 equals to A2 V2, that means it is constant, right. So in this case, as this is the pipe, so the A1 is equals to A2. What is A1? A1 is the sectional area at this section 1.1, okay. Here it is A1 and here it is A2 at this section 2.2. So if the cross sectional area, it is A2. Now if the cross sectional area of both two section, if it is same, then we can write that A1 equals to A2. Now to satisfy this equation, that means the continuity equation, definitely the V1 is also equals to V2, because then only it will satisfy this equation, right. So if the V1 is equals to V2, so definitely these two portions will be deducted, right. Also, as the pipe is fully horizontal, so Z1 is also equals to Z2. So on that case the Z1 and Z2 is also deducted. So ultimately what will be the value of HF that we get from here, that is P1 minus P2 by rho g, okay. So give this equation number 1. What is HF over here? HF is the head loss, or you can say the energy loss. Now there is a term, please note, that is F dash. And what is F dash? F dash is the frictional resistance per unit area per unit velocity. It is frictional resistance per unit area per unit velocity. Okay, so why I am going to consider this f dash value, I will show you. Look, from the assumption what we know, the frictional resistance force is proportional to the v to the power n. So if we apply these assumptions, what we can write is capital F equals to f dash into pi dl. Why pi dl? Pi d is nothing but the perimeter of the pipe, okay, and as the length of the pipe is L, consider this one is L, so that is why if the perimeter is pi d, so if you just multiply this pi d with the L, you will get the internal area, surface area of the pipe, right? So that is why F is equals to f dash into pi dl into the v square. Why v square? Look, it is directly proportional to the v to the power n. So this is another equation, give it equation number 2, and where v is the mean velocity, v is the mean velocity, okay. Now from the Newton's law, we can write summation of all the forces over here is 0. Why? Look, here we consider the flow is steady. So in steady flow, what we know that the velocity at this particular section, that means any two section, the velocity is constant, that means there is no acceleration, right? So if there is no acceleration, that means the local acceleration is 0. The local acceleration is 0. So that is why, as we know that Newton's law, F equals to mg, right? So if the g, that means here it is gravitational acceleration, here the local acceleration is 0, so that is why F is also 0. So we can write as per the Newton's law, summation of F equals to 0. Now I need to see that how many forces are acting on this particular pipe, okay. So if we consider at section 1 at least in this particular section, what is the force? P1 into A1 in this particular section, and definitely it is positive because it is on the direction of the flow of fluid, okay. So that is why it is positive. In case of 2, that means section 2, here the pressure, that means here the force is P2 into A2, and it is actually negative because it is opposite the direction of the flow, okay. And same case for the F value. For the F value, what is F? F is the frictional resistance force. So frictional resistance force is also on the opposite direction and it is also negative. We can write positive of P1 A1 minus P2 A2 minus F, that is equals to 0, right? As the summation of all the forces is 0. So from here what we can write is, as the A1 is equals to A2, right? So consider this is A1 equals to AT equals to A. So we can write P1 minus P2 equals to F by A, okay. So consider this is equation number 3. From the equation number 3 and from the equation number 2, that means this equation, and from this equation what we can write, P1 minus P2 equals to F dash pi dl into V square by A, okay. So consider this one is equation number 4. Now from equation number 4 and from this equation number 1, here you can see HF value, that means the head loss is nothing but the P1 minus P2 by rho g, very simple. So we just divide this particular value in both the sides by rho g to get the value of HF. So dividing both the sides by rho g, what we get, P1 minus P2 by rho g. So and that is nothing but equals to HF equals to F dash into pi dl v square by a rho g. Okay, and after getting this particular equation, you just write beside this that HF is the head loss, and if you divide that HF value by L, what you get, head loss per unit length, right? And also some other thing is there, area, A is nothing but the weighted area and P is the weighted perimeter. And A by P is termed as the small m, and it is defined as the hydraulic mean depth. Hydraulic mean depth. This thing I have already discussed in the open channel. So we just determine the value of V from this particular portion. Okay, how? What will be the value of V square? If you just cross multiply it, HF into A rho g by F dash pi d L. Okay, now you just determine the value of V. So I am just writing over here, V equals to root over of rho g by F dash, I am just arranging that, into HF by L into A by P. Now you know the value of HF by L, you know the value of A by P. So just write that. So root over of rho g by F dash into root over of this one, and the HF by L, it is equals to head loss, and it is denoted by small I. Okay, so you just write in place of this small I, and A by P is m. So ultimately we get V equals to root over of rho g by F dash into root over of Im, and here this particular portion, that means root over of rho g by F dash, this particular thing is termed as the Chase's constant, denoted by capital C. Okay, so this is actually the Chase's constant. So the ultimate equation that we get, V equals to C root over of mi. Okay, so this is the final expression for the Chase's equation. Okay, so next I will show you the how to determine the value of the head loss from the Darcy's Weisbach equation. Okay, so thank you.